Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. I told I had two more to come. This is the first of the second, obviously. This is more of a serious one. It's nothing to do with transfers. It's nothing to do with games coming up or training or anything like that. It's nothing to do with players even. It's actually to do with, in theory, our owner, but he's not really our owner. It's a weird one. I'll explain why. But we're going to be talking a little bit about the situation that really came up, last night. But with me, I didn't want to report on it straight away. I wanted to take time because this is such a serious matter. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to give an opinion on guilty or not guilty. I'm just going to tell you what's been said and then what could lead from it. Okay. So, if you're not aware, we are owned in theory by Joe Lewis, okay? Now that changed in the summer when he put it into a trust, okay? And everyone thought it's because of bad health and that sort of thing. When it came out last night, okay, so again, there's quite a bit to sort of jump in through here. So if you find any of this boring, I'm sorry, but you should really care about this because this is an important thing to do with our club. So Joe Lewis has been charged with 19 counts, including security fraud and conspiracy to commit securities fraud and make false statements. That's from the Financial Times, okay? So this is very serious. This is big news, okay? Kind of going on from that, he faces prosecution from the US insider trading charge on the US insider trading charges. Federal prosecutors said that in an indictment in New York that the 86-year-old passed on inside information from companies in which he was investor to friends, including his personal pilots, assistants. There's a few people that supposedly benefited from this, okay? It came out from The Athletic that the full detail of the indictment claims that the girlfriend, this is quoted, the girlfriend made $849,000, how the boss gave his pilots the heads up and the role of a 98 million pound super yacht, okay? So a lot of these people were making a lot of money, and I'm not saying he's giving them exactly what to do. He might have been saying, look, this is going to come out in a couple of weeks, maybe get ahead of it. I don't know. You know what it kind of works in the whole stocks game and bonds game and things like that, okay? So it's a very serious matter that if obviously found guilty, does it have a big effect on us? Right, well, we've got an update about the situation as well. And this, something about dramatic headlines I never understand, but Joe Lewis has turned himself in. He has surrendered to the US authorities after being charged with insider trading. The 86-year-old turned himself into federal authorities in Manhattan on Wednesday morning. A spokesperson for the US Attorney's Office said, and a day earlier, prosecutors announced an indictment charging Lewis. So it's all kind of kicked off in less than 24 hours, okay? This obviously would, in theory, have a massive effect on us had he still been the sole majority owner. Instead, it's gone into a trust. Therefore, this was really, I dug and dug, and this is why I've taken hours and hours and hours to collect all this information. I'm not jumping in at the deep end. I have seen some videos that they have, and it's not great to watch what they've said. Matt Law from, obviously from other videos that I've done has said that Tottenham do not face the threat of any sanctions or forced sale over Joe Lewis's indictment, with the Premier League satisfied over ownership structure. That will be, it's via the trust now. So you can see it's not going to directly affect us, but obviously it's something that's going to be hanging over this club for a little while to come. A club spokesman said this is a legal matter unconnected with the club, and as such, we have no comment. So much has come out about this. Obviously, you're going to get his own attorneys and things like that defending him. And I know I'm reading a lot to you at the moment, but again, it's one of those things I'm definitely not going to make an opinion on. There is an opinion coming, but it's not to do with this exact thing, because obviously you can get in a lot of trouble for doing so. David M. Zorno, who is the legal counsel to Joe Lewis, said that the government has made an egregious error in judgment in charging Mr. Lewis, an 86-year-old man of impeccable integrity and... there's loads of rubbish there. Mr. Lewis has come to the US voluntarily to answer to these, okay? I'm not going to read it all. I don't really care for it all, if I'm honest. That's a lot to take in, okay? It doesn't force a sell of the club. Definitely not. Does that mean, though, that door doesn't creep open just ever so slightly. And I think it does creep open ever so slightly. And this is where I can add my opinion. I can speculate to the future of Tottenham Hotspur, not to do with the charges. It's nothing to do with me. I will make no comments on that. Okay, you can be in trouble for doing so. We'll wait and see about these charges. Are they false? Are they true? Whatever it might be, we have to just kind of let the legal system run its course. Okay, so I think there'll be more to come out as time goes on. I assume something come out pretty quickly about all this. about the fact that he's handed himself in. We'll see about that. But I believe I read something earlier that it says it's been going back a few years as well. It's not something that's recent. So someone's probably been digging around on him, or someone's, you never know, someone might have whistled on him. I don't know. But for me, it's nothing to do with me. That system will let it do itself, okay? What I want to talk about and add my opinion on, I talked about them months ago, actually, when we had supposedly someone that wanted to buy us. And then I talked about a minority owner being the Qataris, specifically the ones that own PSG. And this came from France, okay? And Abdallah Boulma is the source on this, and it says the QSI are closely monitoring the situation involving insider trading charge of Spurs owner, Joe Lewis, and how it could speed up a possible sale of the club. Now, they always want to be a minority because obviously with UEFA, you cannot be a majority owner to basically UEFA clubs, right? So PSG owners couldn't own Spurs as well because it could be a conflict of interest, right? For example, they could just move Harry Kane over, right? That sort of thing, okay? What they do want to do is be a minority owner, which they're allowed to be. That's the interesting thing. They're allowed to be a minority owner because it could be deemed as an investment, okay? Now, let's run with this a little bit. Let me just add my 2 cents before I sign off because I've still got another video to make for a little bit later on. That final line, possibly speed up the process of selling the club. It's always been on the radar that we could be doing this. And Daniel Levy, is kind of saying, if we sell the club, I want to be the chairman still. I want to run the club. Which, okay, Dan, you can be running the club. Get out of the way of the football decisions, first and foremost, because you're not doing very well over the course of 20 years on that, because you made some absolute stinkers, okay? You made the club lots of money. Do the business side of it. You do that. But also you're going to get new owners who are going to go, let's spend some money. Let's be competitive. Let's try and take up and fight the big clubs of the world. Forget just a Man City, but the world. Let's spend some money. We make enough money. Let's spend that money. Hell, the new owners, if they're serious, I mean, you look at the ones that were talking about buying Manchester United. They were talking about wiping the debt clean. Hell, wipe our debt clean and let's just go lump money at this. We could spend 250 odd mil a summer, no doubt, if we could, So I don't know what's going to happen. But all I know is process of sale could be sped up. That is exciting. It's a glimmer of light at the end of a tunnel. Okay. Who will it be? I don't really know, to be honest. It's a difficult one. You're talking about a club that's going to be sold for multiple billions because they're not going to sell on the cheap. It's not like the Abramovich situation where Abramovich kind of had to sell and get out, and he had provisions because obviously he was a guy that looked after Chelsea. He's going to say, look, there's a debt. I'm going to wipe it clean. But you need to do X amount of things for the next 10 years before you take any money out. Wanted to look after the club. He's probably a little bit worried about how it looks right now, but he wanted to look after the club. With our situation, we're going to be selling a bit higher. You've got the stadium, the training facilities, and fair enough. There's no doubt on that. The only thing is, does it linger? And if it lingers, you know what it's like. It's a bad stench in a room. It doesn't go away, and it lingers and lingers into the point where it's too much. But we shall see. Owners coming in, you never know. Look, guys, these sort of things you cannot add an opinion on. You can be in trouble for adding opinion on legal proceedings. You just have to let them play out, okay? I'm adding no opinion. If he's guilty or not guilty, it's nothing to do with me right now, okay? We'll wait for the legal proceedings to do their work. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the video. I still have another one to come. Don't worry, it's about chances. A little bit more upbeat, okay? Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. It's a bit different, I know. It might not be for everyone, but you know what? For me, this is about getting news out there. Correct news as well. Drop a comment on the situation, not about Joe Lewis, about potential owners coming in. Who would you potentially want? Is there someone in mind that you think could be? Let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and hit the bell notification for more. Like I said, still got another video to come. It is coming, I promise. And I will see you all very, very soon. Take care, lads.